Welcome to Shock Rock and Devilocks. For episode number 6, I talked to Sydney Snow, the lead vocalist of Love Razer. Right now, Sydney and his bandmates are working real hard and they're playing hard, tearing it up everywhere from Windsor, Ontario to Ottawa. If you haven't seen them, I recommend you go see them. They're playing in Windsor February 10th at the Backstage, and then February 24th at the Beer Exchange. They got another show around the area, April 13th, Windsor, Backstage with Anvil. Go on their website, www.loverazer.com, or their Facebook page. Currently, their EP, Rock and Roll Addiction, is out, featuring 3 kick-ass tunes. I play 2 of them in this episode, so you might want to listen, through the whole thing, to hear that. Anyway, it was a good time talking to Sydney, and I think they're going to be one of those bands you're going to hear beyond Windsor, come 2018, quite possibly. So take a listen, enjoy the interview.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, not bad. How are you?
Pretty good.
How
are you enjoying your off?
My day off?
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, it kind of snowed in here, so.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I guess, we'll start about how I first heard about you guys was through the First Class Bitch video.
Mm-hmm.
Then, pretty much you recorded that for your EP, Rock and Roll Addiction. And that came about because you won a contest, right? A Jack Daniels contest.
Oh yeah.
That was
So you heard about us through the video online?
Yeah, that's the first time I heard about you guys, and then I realized you're from Windsor, and I was just, that's pretty crazy.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I guess that contest helped a lot. It was like a competition, kind of. You had to get a whole bunch of people to vote for you, and there was other bands competing in it for $7,000, and it was like a music competition. So it could be anything, really, like whatever you wanted to fund, and we wanted to put it towards this EP and getting like a music video out, and it helped get us like just off the ground, like get our merch out, get our music out, and a video. All the things that we kind of needed to just get going.
Was that for like all of North America? Like bands like enter the contest? Like was it just Canada, or was it Canada and US, or?
I think it was just Canada. I think the US has one, but it's like a separate competition from Canada.
Okay, yeah. So you went to SLR Studios in Windsor to record that?
Yeah, right in Windsor with Marty Bach, and he was awesome. And that's actually where we're going tonight. I'm going with Bones, and he's just going to lay down a lead track for this song we recorded last week there for the new full-length album. Yeah, I think it was different than a lot of things that Marty does, because Marty does everything. Like, he does, like, pop, he does rock, he does metal, progressive metal, and everything. So when we came in, we were like, we just kind of want this, and, like, no effects, and just straight, just dirty rock and roll. Like none of the usual things that a lot of new bands would have to make their music sound more produced or whatever. So I think he doesn't do that a lot. So it was a little bit different than what he does, but he did really good with it, and we were all happy with it.
So is that a new song that you guys are recording, like the one that you've played live already, or?
Yeah, it's a new, like, it's a song that only people who have seen us live would know, I guess.
All right, cool. Well, can't wait to hear it. Is it going to be, are you started just doing this one song, or are you just kind of starting the new album?
Yeah, so I guess Marty's pretty booked, so we just kind of have studio time from now and all the way up until and in August. So we'll be doing this 10-song CD, recording in between then. So right now we're gonna try to, instead of waiting for everything to come out, because like realistically, after everything's done and we wait for mixes and masters and videos, and iTunes sometimes takes a while to upload and everything else. It could be like you can add extra months onto things getting done. So we're gonna try to get some videos out and stuff before the album comes out, just to kind of close the gap of content that people have been waiting for. So like this single will be out before the album with the video, and
cool.
We'll make it available for download.
Yeah,
and then maybe it up a little bit when it goes on the album.
Yeah, I guess there's still a lot of people that haven't heard your stuff, but then yeah, for the people who have, they're kind of want more than the 3 songs, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean we could have done that originally, but the $7,000 budget or whatever we won from Jack Daniels, like the 3 songs is really what it allowed for. So without us, like, because we wanted to get merch, CDs, and like a video and things like that ready, you know, not just like spend it all in the studio.
Was that video that was filmed in Toronto, right? For First Class Bitch?
Oh, I was right in Windsor. That was at Silver's.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I thought it was in Toronto. That's cool.
Yeah, you know what? We did that whole video in 6 hours. Some guys from Hungry Boy Productions, they're from London. They came down, and they're really awesome to work with. We told them, like, what we wanted to do for it, like the vision, and, like, kind of a storyboard for it, because we didn't want to just have a video of us just rocking out and whatever, you know, because that's just like a regular rock video. We wanted to do something a little bit different, like add something to that. So they really worked with us, and they came down and did the whole thing in 6 hours, one day.
Oh, cool. So that was like an after hours kind of shoot, eh? Or before hours?
Yeah. It was kind of like they did like individual takes on us. So like we would play the song. Chris played the drums for like 6 hours straight. And, but like the other guys were playing, I guess the amps weren't on when because the sound was coming through the speakers. But I was singing. I actually had to sing because if you just lip sync, it doesn't seem like it looks real. I guess that's what they were saying. So my voice was kind of shot after that.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, it was a fun day. And then we brought some people, like we put out a Facebook post. We said, hey, anyone want to be in the video, Love Razer music video, like come down to Silver's.
Hopefully you got some free lap dances after that.
That's old news. Wears a dirty little halo and it's burning her bright. She's naughty by nature, lives on the night. Fatal attraction, all she knows. She's a dirty dancing diva and she lives for the show. Give her all your money, she'll treat you right. She's gotta keep it moving, baby. Keep that inside all night. She's the life of the show, and she's ready to go. She's a first class bitch, everyone knows. So
Yeah, you guys played with Gilby Clarke in Windsor there at the Rondo. Played with Tracii Guns in Toronto and the Bullet Boys. Who's been your favorite one to play with so far? Favorite band or artist, or
Um,
one that you've met that you thought were cool?
you know what? I got to meet Gilby Clarke and Mark Torin from Bullet Boys, but we didn't get to meet Tracii. He was really good, like really good guitar player live, awesome to watch. And I don't know, actually, I kind of missed some of Gilby Clarke's set because I usually run out before before we go on to do some vocal warm ups.
Yeah,
So I
'cause he.
caught like it, but it was cool. It was pretty fun. I think he played in Windsor at last minute. Like he was booked somewhere else for a show, and then and it got canceled or something. So he just needed somewhere to play last minute. And he ended up being in Windsor.
Yeah, because he was on. Yeah, he went on first. So that's pretty cool to say that a member of Guns N' Roses opened up for you guys.
Yeah, that's cool. I think he wanted us to play first for whatever reason. He was still the headliner or whatever for the night, but maybe he wanted to like go to bed an hour earlier or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah,
right.
he's getting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, your first show. Do you remember your first show?
Our first show. Yeah, that was like, I think it was in like September, not this September, but the one in over a year ago now. Shit, I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was in Windsor at Good Time Charlie's. It's called Cass's now. You know the guy who actually ran Good Time Charlie's, like the music back then. He does Rockstar now in Windsor. David Michael.
Okay.
And yeah, he there. I remember we played a bunch of cover tunes because we didn't have a lot of originals back then. Our first show, we played maybe like half originals and half cover tunes, like a lot of Motley Crue, and we played Rock You Like a Hurricane by Scorpions. And I think that's the only time we've ever played that song live.
What bands what bands would you more lean towards? Like what would be maybe your favorite?
Yeah, I like a lot of like the 80s rock and like classic rock, and like really I like the Sleaze Rock too, like some of the newer bands. You know, like Crash Diet and Hardcore Superstar, Cruel Intentions, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like Sleaze Rock is kind of like a new modern take on 80s rock a little bit.
Yeah, there seems to be a scene growing for that, like a comeback scene for that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's happening like overseas right now, in like Europe and Sweden and
That's where
Finland. And what's that?
Oh, that's where Crash Diet is from, right? Sweden.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of those type of bands over there in Sweden. Like that's been a thing for a while. Hopefully, it makes its way over here.
Was that like a conscious decision just to play? You guys kind of all decided to play that certain kind of brand of rock, or did it just happen?
You know what? It's weird because like I haven't really met any. Like I've jammed and been in a bunch of bands and stuff, and played bass in bands for like 10 years, and sang and stuff too. And I haven't really met anyone who's about like this genre of music, like the hard rock, sleaze rock, you know, glam style or whatever. And I just heard about these guys, and then I saw they were looking for a singer, and they had like a picture posted, and it was Motley Crue, and I'm like, oh, I fucking love Motley Crue. I'm gonna go see what these guys are about. They're probably gonna suck. So I went and tried them out, and it turns out they're all really good. So I guess it just worked that way. Like they had like a Motley Crue tribute band before Love Razer. So when I went there, I had to learn a bunch of Crue, and we still know like 17 Motley Crue songs.
Do you write the lyrics, or is it a combined effort?
Yeah, mostly I write the lyrics. I mean, everybody kind of does their own thing. So Mike's been known to write a couple lyrics, but usually like the song writing process will start with Bones. He'll come up with a riff or a song or whatever, and then Mike and Chris will kind of figure out their parts, and then they'll send like a demo to me, and then I'll work on the words, and then I'll say, oh, this should change here, or this should change here to work with it better, and we just kind of build the song around that. But, you know, sometimes like Mike's been known to write guitar parts and lyrics, and I've sent like, if I think of words or a melody or something, then I'll try to think of like a guitar part to go with it, and I've sent things to Bones, like a couple of our songs, like All Time Sleaze. I was like, look, I got this idea for this song, and these are the chords. So I sent them the chords, and I'm like, make this your style.
It's like all-time sleaze, the Canadian sleaze anthem, right?
Yeah, it's the new Canadian sleaze anthem.
Well,
I don't know if there's another Canadian sleaze anthem or not. So.
No, I don't think so. I think that's the official one.
It's the only one.
If there is another one, it's not the real one. Yeah, you're also in Hair Force One.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like a fun side project Bones and I do. It's an all 80s rock tribute band. So it's with some older dudes that we know from Windsor. They're not older, they're just older than us,
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. We just go play the whole night full of 80s rock, and then if there's guests around, we'll say, hey, come up and sing,
Have you ever seen Sebastian Bach live? Or?
Yeah, I've seen him a couple times. He was awesome. Actually, you know what? It's funny that you mentioned that because the first time I seen Sebastian Bach, it was on the Guns N' Roses Chinese Democracy tour. And I remember he opened up, and I was like, oh, my God. I knew he was an awesome singer, but, just watching him there do that shit, I was like, man, I want to do that. That was, the reason that I wanted to be a singer. I was just watching that guy that night, and I was like, holy fuck, man, I want to do that,
Just passed down, running all over town. Woke up with my face in the ground. Sweet seduction whisper in my ear. Now time to wait on a double take. Tease so hard that will make you ache. Got a jar driving, baby, that will give you midnight.
was watching some YouTube stuff like the Partied Out Freak. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
From the ones,
You
yeah.
know what? I said that, and I like. It's hard to realize like what songs people like right away because that song is like heavier. I think that's like the heaviest song we do.
That's what I mean.
You know?
There's more aggression into what you do, So
Yeah.
I don't see it really being like. I know you probably get people that say that you're hair metal or something, but I don't really. I think a lot of people just kind of, they just throw that term out there, just to.
Yeah. You know what? I think people see us and then they just assume something because they're like, you kind of remind me of something that has happened before, hair metal. And I think it's just coincidence that, like, I don't know, we kind of look like Motley Crue. Like, I have blonde hair, like their singer, and our guitar player has big, like, black hair, like, teased up like that. And it's just kind of like a coincidence. Those guys all looked like that before this band, and I always had blonde hair. It just kind of happened that way, But
Yeah.
I would say, like, if you've seen a picture of Love Razer, you think you know what kind of music it is, I'd say just give it a chance, even if you don't like 80s rock, because it's different, It's a little bit, it's not 80s rock and it's not like overdone 80s rock. It's just like dirty rock and roll.
You guys got any plans to tour at all, or any kind of small mini tour or something, or?
Nothing right now. We book a lot of shows. Like we have, February 10th backstage in Windsor, February 24th at the Beer Exchange in Windsor with you guys. The 25th at Champs in Chatham, and March 4th in Stratford at the Masonic Concert Hall. And then we have some other ones coming up after that. But those are just like the closest ones, I guess. But no plans for like a tour or a mini tour or whatever. I think we're going to save that until we have like our full length out,
Yeah.
And then we'll have something else to offer when we go out, and we'll get some new merch and stuff for that too.
You go the Kiss route and do the tampons.
Yeah, maybe.
Lunch
Who
boxes.
knows? I mean, yeah, a lunchbox or something like that. I don't know. It really depends. Like, because some things they don't have like a high turn after you buy the item, and like we want to get like a quality item too. So like so it doesn't just break or isn't shitty material or whatever,
All right. Well, it's gonna be fun on the 24th.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on your podcast, man.